got some good news to get to on Julian Love, the Seahawks safety who enters his third season in Seattle, is finally being talked about in a very positive light. We'll explain more coming up in just a matter of moments here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Folks, I am about to take a much-needed vacation. I am off to Phoenix for a week. It is going to be an interesting time. There will be females involved. I'll leave it at that. Here's the deal, okay? Training camp gets started while I'm on vacation. And I would like to still bring you guys some content and keep you updated on things, especially if we have some breaking news. So here's what I am willing to offer. Let's make a deal here, folks. While I'm on vacation, taking PTO, paid time off, I will do content while I'm away if we can get 50 subs off today's video. Does that sound like a deal? I think that sounds like a good deal. So if you would like me to take time away from my vacation and enjoying some time with the women, then go ahead and subscribe now. Let's get 50 subs off today's video, and I'll do content from the road. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. RESPECT. What does it mean to Julian Love? Well, ESPN, their newest report, is giving rave reviews for the Seahawks safety, and they're not the only ones to do so. We'll explain more here in just a moment, but the latest position rankings around the NFL, according to ESPN, named Julian Love the 10th best safety in the entire league. And this is for both free and strong safeties. So just the safety position in general, they think that he's top 10, which is really good company to be in. That's a major compliment to Julian Love to say that he's top 10 at his position. And we're going to go over some numbers and back up that point. Let's start with this, though. What one unnamed NFC executive had to say to ESPN about Julian Love here. Range, dart, combo of physicality and ball production has developed into a high-end player. Remarkable for a guy that was primarily a corner in college. That's high praise for Julian Love, and it's true. It is a factual statement in regards to Julian Love that he has had that high-end production, that he's been those things. The physicality, the ball production, all of that has been there for Julian Love. And Love has been a great fit, I think, for this Seahawks team for a number of reasons. And you think about the changes that we've seen this team undergo in this safety room as of late. You tried out Rayshon Jenkins. You moved on from Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs and all that. And even with this revolving door at the position, Kobe Bryant having to step up. Now you bring in Nick Eamon-Warry. The one constant, the dependable guy for that safety room has been Julian Love. He has been somebody that they've counted on time and time again. And quite frankly, he's made this defense better for the Seattle Seahawks. No question about it. I think that he has been a great fit for what they've been trying to do, whether it was under Pete Carroll or Mike Macdonald, either one. He's been awesome, to say the least. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN saying this on Julian Love. Love has used his 2-year stint in Seattle to catapult his career, racking up 7 interceptions, 22 pass deflections, and 232 total tackles. His 21.8% ball hawking rate topped all safeties with at least 50 targets this past season. The money parallels the on-field ascension. After 4 years with the Giants, Seattle signed Love to a 2-year, $12 million deal in March 2023, only to extend him for 3 years and $33 million 16 months later. If I were to break down the recent free agent signings, and I'm not going to count Cooper Kupp and Sam Darnold or DeMarcus Lawrence because we haven't seen them take a snap just yet. But if guys as of late that have signed with this Seahawks team, he has been, without a doubt, the best free agent signing in recent memory. Leonard Williams was traded for. Ernest Jones was traded for. Julian Love, the best pure free agent signing as of late. And we talk about dependability. He hasn't missed a single game since he's been in Seattle. He has stayed very healthy throughout his career, and here he is not even missing a single game to this point. That's huge for him. So, do you agree with what ESPN says? Is Julian Love a top 10 safety in the National Football League? It's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know what you think. Type Y for yes, in for no. Do you agree? Is he a top 10 safety or not? Weigh in and let me know. You know, I remember a commercial many years ago with NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin, and he had an infamous quote. He said, "Who doesn't love love?" And I think the same can be said about Julian Love. Who doesn't love Julian Love? What's not to like about this guy? He is described by the folks at Seahawk Wire as a stabilizing force. And I don't think that there is a better phrase to use when talking about Julian Love than just that, a stabilizing force. Here's more from Seahawks Wire. The Seahawks have undergone some change at safety this offseason. They released Rayshon Jenkins, officially promoting Kobe Bryant to a full-time role. They also drafted Nick Eamon-Warren in the second round, trading up 17 spots to land the athletic defender. Love returns as the constant in Macdonald's defensive backfield. His abilities and value shouldn't go underappreciated. Pro Football Focus recently named every team's most underrated player. To nobody's surprise, Love was the selection for the Seahawks. And Julian Love's the type of guy I think that every team could use him. Even if you have a safety that's better than Julian Love, and there are safeties that are better than Julian Love. According to ESPN, there's 9 others. You would gladly take Julian Love as the guy next to him. This is somebody that every team would be thrilled to have. And Love, the most underrated player, I would go as far as to say not only is he arguably the most underrated player on this Seahawks team, he's one of the most underrated players in the entire league. How does he only have 1 Pro Bowl selection at this point? It blows my mind. Here's what Pro Football Focus had to say on Julian Love. Love came through with a career year in 2024 as a seemingly perfect fit in Mike Macdonald's defense, which led to a more complete showing. Love finished 6th at the position in Pro Football Focus's overall grade, 81.2, and was one of only 2 safeties, Kyle Hamilton, to rank in the top 10 in PFF run defense grade, 89.5, and PFF coverage grade, 76.1 this past season. And when you look at these specifics of what he does well, it's everything. He is strong against both the run and the pass. This is not somebody that takes plays off. You know, I think back to the Jamal Adams days. And with Jamal Adams, he was such a one-trick pony, right? And it got so frustrating of how much of a liability Jamal Adams was. I don't have that discussion with Julian Love. He is an every down dog in every sense of the word. And he helps out your team in a multitude of ways. I'm a big fan of Julian Love. Do you believe in Julian Love? What do you guys think? Type B for believe, D for don't. Keep it real with me, 12s. Do you like this guy? I like this guy. Weigh in, let us know. Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Now, here's another thing. When I look at Julian Love, the constant. I think if I were to give him like some nickname of sorts, I think I would call him the constant because he has been the constant of these defensive backs. I can count on him week in and week out that he's going to play at a high level, that he's going to defend against the run and the pass, and then on top of that, too, he's going to be consistent, and he's going to stay healthy. All of those things say a lot about Julian Love here. And you look at the resume. Here's what we're talking about. He's still not that old either. 2019 fourth-round pick out of Notre Dame by the Giants, a Pro Bowl selection in 2023. Last year was arguably even better for him than what his Pro Bowl season was in 2023. 96 career games played with 61 starts in his career. And he's just now really in his prime years as well. Look at these statistics we're talking about here, folks. He was good in New York, don't get me wrong. But the last 2 years have really stood out with the role that he's taken on in this Seahawks defense. Here's what I mean. You go back to his days in New York, 2021, 66 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 1 interception. Pretty solid. Then he steps that up in 2022 with 124 tackles, 6 TFLs, 1 sack, 5 breakups, and 2 interceptions. I remember at the time when he signed with Seattle too, I was talking to our Giants host, Marshall Green, and he was really bummed to see Julian Love leave New York. And I was excited about the signing. I remember him telling me, "You guys got a good one. This guy, I hate to see him leave because he is a very good football player that makes your team better." And it's paid off for Seattle since. You see that 2023 Pro Bowl season he had, 10 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, 123 tackles. And then last year, followed that up, playing every game again with 3 interceptions, 12 pass breakups, 3 TFLs, and 109 tackles. And then you go a step further, and you look at his coverage stats. Completion percentage allowed I can live with, just 60%. Receiving yards allowed, just over 400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 12 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. QB rating allowed, under 90, 89.3. Those are numbers I can live with. But here's what tells you the real story. When you take a step further and look at the Pro Football Focus grades, the nerd numbers, as I like to call them, the defensive grade, really good, 82.2. Pass rush grade could use some work, but he's not used much as a pass rusher anyway, at a 54.4. Run defense grade of 89.5. Coverage grade of 77.4. It's all good from Julian Love. And now as we head towards 2025, he gets to lead this group. A fun group, I would say. Young cats like Kobe Bryant and Nick Emanwari. And then you turn to your corners, and you got Devin Witherspoon, who I think's a star already in this league. Rick Woolen, who's been solid. Shaq Griffin, of course. Josh Jobe. I think it's a fun group. And the face of it all might be Devin Witherspoon, but the leader of this group is Julian Love. For more Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. We'll see you next time.